Now that we have block 1 done, if you haven't seen this video, go ahead and check the channel or in the link in the description. You'll be able to find this block. But we are going to sew a second block, and this one is just a little bit different. Now that we have all of our pieces sewn, we're just going to cut right down the center. So we have all half square triangles now. After we've cut these, we are going to press them to the dark side. Because I'm using a light background, I don't want it pressed to the light or you're going to see it. So, all right, with all of my pieces sewn and cut, I need to trim these up. So I've got my, of course, block lock ruler for all of my half square triangle trimmings. So I'm just going to line my ruler up and trim them to the correct size. All right, with my blocks all trimmed, you're going to notice that this layout is just a little bit different from the other blocks. So we just want to make sure, again, that when we're laying our half square triangles out, that they are going the correct direction. Not only that, but we've got this little other piece down here. So instead of the large half square triangle at the bottom, just look at your picture, make sure that everything is lined up properly. All right, so this is the second block layout. So as you can see, this is our first block. And then for the second block, we have, instead of this large half square triangle, we have this new section down here. So to make this easy to sew, we are going to just chain stitch down these rows. So I'm going to open up this first one and I'm just going to grab this next one. Make sure that right sides are facing and nothing got twisted while you were picking it up. Just going to stitch it down, open up my second one, go back over here, grab this piece and put it on top. So they're all kind of still connected, which can help when you're constructing the block because it keeps everything the right direction and nothing gets twisted. So this last one, I'm going to grab this last corner piece block, line it up, all right, now that my 3 rows are sewn, what I can do is sew these rows together. So I'm going to open it up, make sure everything is good, and then just flip this top section to the center. Line it right sides together, and then when we come to these seams, we want to make sure one seam is going one direction and the other seam is going the other direction so these nest nicely together. If you need to pin that, that's just fine too. So we get this started. And then while the needle is in the down position, I'm going to kind of fussy with this next seam. Line up the end, make sure that these seams are nested, and then continue on. And then repeat it for this last section. So I'm going to flip this down. And I'm going to lay the new piece, the single piece on the bottom, with this piece on the top. I'm going to nest this seam, and I'm going to look at what happened before. So as you can see, this seam is going down, and I want to keep it that direction. So I want to make sure the other seam is going up. So if I keep this side on the top, then I can see those seams and make them do what I need them to do, so everything lays nice and flat. This one is going down, so this back seam needs to go up. I'm going to nest the seams really good, make sure they're all staying. You can pin it if you need, and then continue on. So the next step for this is to iron it. Now, to give you an idea of where these blocks fit, so this first block would go on the outside perimeter, and this second block I just finished would go in the center. So as you can see, there's 4 of them that are like that and similar, and that will make a pinwheel in the center. So that's what this black piece is going to be doing once I get the other blocks sewn and put together in the quilt.